It's the story of a 3-year-old girl, 8,000 miles away from her mother tonight. We found her in our journey of 18 days of heartbreak in the Horn of Africa. 18 days of watching suffering and dodging areas where terrorists rape, kidnap, and kill people. 18 days where only the most helpless and hopeless exist. We went to Dadaab to see firsthand the life 3-year-old Anfa lives in a land where life is cheap, hope is hard to find, and almost everybody wants to escape hell to come to the heartland. In the dawn's early light, in the land of broken dreams and last resorts, the desperate breathe and die in this open prison called Dadaab. It is the second largest refugee camp in the world. Children like 3-year-old Anfa Abdullahi make up the majority of refugees here. The ties that bind her are broken. Anfa's mother is more than 8,000 miles away from this hell in the heartland.
It's really painful. It's really painful.
Famo Gedi Ali, her husband, and their sons were approved for refugee status to the U.S. almost 3 years ago. They live in this small apartment in St. Cloud.
As we were waiting the flight, Anfa was born.
Anfa did not have refugee status. She was just days old. The U.S. requires refugees to go through an extreme vetting and security process. They have to interview with a U.S. immigration officer. Anfa obviously couldn't give an interview. Famo had a choice. She could come to the U.S. and find a pathway to bring her child and her parents to freedom. Or she could give up her refugee status in the U.S. and raise her family in a cage of misery. Less than 1% of people in the world qualify for refugee status.
She was really crying a lot.
Famo made the unimaginable decision to leave Anfa behind with her parents.
I go to my mom's home and give to her. She was really crying when I was coming out.
Anfa's brothers and parents are among thousands of families in Minnesota separated from their loved ones in Dadaab. 1 out of 5 Somalis in Minnesota have family in the camp. 1 out of 3 went through the camp before they resettled in Minnesota.
The only things we want is to live together.
Famo and her family are stringing their broken bonds together by believing in reuniting. Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Here we go. I recorded a message from Famo, her husband, and Anfa's brothers on my phone to take with me to Dadaab.
We love you. We miss you big. So one day we will be here together.
We traveled a long, rocky, dusty, dangerous road to find Anfa. Our field producer tracked her down in this small area of the camp. She lives in these shacks with her grandparents.
Jambo, habari.
Anfa's grandfather was waiting for us.
Jambo, habari gani, Anfa? She's so beautiful.
I told Anfa I had a message for her.
Mama.
Anfa's grandparents say it breaks their hearts to watch how much their granddaughter misses her mother.
I almost cried.
Your daughter sent this for Anfa.
As Anfa's grandparents helped her put on her new hijab, Anfa asked me a question. Have you seen my mother? Where is she?
I've seen your mother. She misses you very much.
Anfa has been yearning for her mother for 3 long years. She and her grandparents had a chance to come to the U.S. in February, but before they could get on a plane, President Trump signed his first executive order to stop Muslim refugees from coming to the U.S.
It's heartbreaking for us because ANFA thinks that every opportunity will be hers to reunite with her mother.
While they wait, life goes on. Anfa and her uncle and grandmother walk several miles of tough terrain once a month to get rations from the United Nations. They'll get half the oil, half the sorghum, half the maize they used to get. They'll carry it back on the same unforgiving road that brought them here. They are trapped in this land of broken dreams and lost resorts, but they are still dreaming of leaving this hell to come to the heartland. Anfa's story may have a happy ending for her family. An immigration lawyer in St. Cloud says she is now representing Anfa's parents. Congressman Tom Emmer's office is also lobbying immigration officers in Africa to interview Anfa. They say they are treating this matter with urgency. If Anfa is able to clear the interview process soon, she could also be cleared for a flight to the United States. Farrah Fazal, 5 Eyewitness News.
صار له 6 سنين مفقود ما بعرف عنه شيء يعني أخذ الجيش.
Nobody knows her name. Nobody knew her name when she was coming here because if they knew her name that would cause her danger coming here. They told her he was dead. First they told her he was missing, then they told her he was dead. That's what people are saying. But he's still kind of missing.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
The 2,500 or so people who live here in this camp in Kismayu aren't just dealing with famine and water issues. They are also dealing with insecurity. The armed guards we are traveling with tell us we cannot be in one place for more than 20 minutes because there are Al-Shabaab terrorists who are watching this camp. They also say the soldiers who are patrolling this camp are very vulnerable to those terrorists because those people will pay these soldiers, and the government of Somalia right now cannot.
He's had fever for several days. It looks like he's got a chest infection. He's hypoxic, kind of labored breathing, lethargic, needs oxygen, needs possible admission. So we're gonna.
He's grunting and all that. انت معك حميد صح؟ Yeah, he's
Very nice.
yeah, and I wish we could give him something for the fever now, like a supplementary or something. Maybe ما تخافي الأطفال بسرعة بطيبوا.
بدنا كمان حدا يروح معه مشان.
Is there a special way you cut it? No, I just want to make sure it's fine.
خلاص تفضل لنا بس مشان.
The government says random al-Shabaab attacks on these streets are the #1 security problem that they face. They just never know when it's going to happen and they don't know how to really prevent it. So most of the people who come out of the country into Mogadishu travel like this. This is an armored car. This is a bulletproof vest. And I have traveled in this car for my entire time here in Mogadishu. This is the mobile hospital that ARC erected because the people cannot go to the help, so the help is coming to the people. All these are nurses that are treating many of these people who live in here. About 60 or so come every day. They have cholera outbreaks, they have malaria, they have measles. In fact, there's a little girl who's here. She has some of the worst case of the measles because her eyes, you can tell her eyes are deformed. Dawning of a day in Pakistan comes with chaos. 6 other journalists and I got up close and personal with the consequences of that chaos. Pakistanis we met weren't anti-American at all. They shook our hands, talked to us, and took pictures with us. This daily ceremony on the Wagah border between India and Pakistan may be the only peace the two countries find.
نوار وين الثاني صح عامل التدريب